Here is something that might surprise you. More than 80% of business AI projects don't deliver on what they promised. For those including AI agents that are supposed to work on their own, the failure rate is even higher. Why does this keep on happening? Well, on the supply side, you have a flood of companies selling what they call miracle solutions to complex business problems. And on the demand side, you have businesses that lack a real AI strategy. What you end up with are systems that look incredible in a controlled demo, but break the second they touch real business chaos. The truth is, building reliable AI is hard. Even giants like Apple and McDonald's have had to pull back AI features because they didn't work out in production. In this video, we'll look at a framework to avoid failure. Whether you're building AI or buying it, you'll learn to distinguish between a fragile demo and a robust solution. My name is Jacob, and for the last 2 years, I've built automation systems for companies, including some valued at over $100 million. I created this YouTube channel because there's so much BS floating around the AI space. Everyone is selling dreams, but nobody's talking about the fundamentals that actually make AI work. Here's a framework I've used when building automations for businesses. First out is opportunity spotting, and when looking for opportunities for AI within a business, you must understand two fundamental things. First, you can't use AI to fix a messy process. A good AI system simply automates a task your team already performs well. If you don't have a clear, effective method, AI can't invent one for you. If a company's process of doing something is just Jerry figures this out, then AI will not be able to help. The value is in your process and not in the software that mimics it. Second, every business is unique. Your workflow and data have specific nuances, and a one-size-fits-all approach is likely to fail when faced with your company's real-world complexities. This is a primary reason why, on average, 48% of AI prototypes never make it into production. Once you've found an opportunity, you must define what success looks like. A study found that the single most common reason for AI project failure is a simple misunderstanding of the project's intent and purpose. Success means different things to different people. You should anchor your project to a specific, quantifiable business need. So you shouldn't accept an AI to improve marketing. Dig deeper and ask why. Is the goal to increase qualified leads by 15%? Is it to reduce customer support ticket resolution time by 30%? This is also where you manage expectations. A pilot that saves 10 hours a week builds more trust than a failed moonshot like automating the support with a full-on agent. So now that you have the what and the why, you can decide on the how. The first decision when building automations is choosing between a simple workflow and a complex agent. You can think of a workflow as an assembly line for predictable linear tasks. When a new invoice is saved, extract the total, due date and vendor and send it to a Google Sheet. The path is known and it's always sequential. An agent, on the other hand, is a dynamic problem solver. It must reason, plan, and use tools to achieve a goal where the path isn't predefined. You can think of a coding agent analyzing a bug report, deciding on a fix, writing the code, and then testing its solution itself. And despite the buzz around AI agents, the reality is that true agent technology is not yet reliable enough for most production environments. True agents often break because giving them the freedom to reason also gives them the freedom to reason themselves into a corner. This is why the industry is shifting to agentic workflows. They give you the best of both worlds with the reasoning and tool usage of AI agents, but within a system you can actually control and predict. So when should you actually use AI agents? You should ask, is the task complex enough? Is the task valuable enough? Are all parts of the task actually doable? And finally, what's the cost of making a mistake or not catching one? When you've decided on either using an agentic workflow or a pure agent, you should think about how to build a robust system. Regardless of the software you use, from low-code platforms like Make or N8N to Python frameworks like LangChain, LangGraph, and LlamaIndex, the most successful custom automations are built using a handful of proven patterns. These come from a famous blog post by Anthropic in December 2024. And if you master these, you can build almost anything. I have left a link in the description to the blog post from Anthropic that goes into more detail on these. But these patterns are only half the story. To make them production ready, you need a solid technical foundation. And this means mastering essentials like APIs, data validation through something like Pydantic, and databases. Okay, so now let's talk about data. As the saying goes, garbage in, garbage out. But the problem is bigger than that. And according to Gartner, a lack of Gen AI ready data is one of the top reasons for failed deployments, with 43% of all AI projects failing due to poor data quality or relevance. The challenge is that up to 90% of enterprise data is unstructured, where it's locked in away in documents, emails, and PDFs. And before you can even think about building a system, you must ensure your AI has access to data that is complete, correct, clean, and up to date. Getting your data right is a huge topic, and I'll be covering my entire process for that in a future video, so make sure you're subscribed. When you have the structured data, you should think about how to supply your AI system with it. Retrieval augmented generation is how most good AI systems work today. Instead of just using what the AI learned during training, it can look up current information from your documents and databases before answering. This keeps it grounded in real facts instead of making things up. To get RAG working well, you need to understand how chunking strategies, vector stores, and evaluation metrics work. The Model Context Protocol, MCP for short, is a newer standard that's trying to make information sharing much easier. Right now, every AI system has its own way of accessing data. MCP creates one universal method so any AI can talk to any information source. Think of it like creating a standard plug that works with any outlet, but for AI and data. Finally, a system isn't ready for production until it's safe. This means building strong guardrails and a plan for continuous improvement. A guardrail could either be another AI check, like the evaluator pattern we discussed, but the most important guardrail is often the human in the loop. Adding this to your system isn't admitting defeat, it's smart engineering. Without it, you get embarrassing public failures. Like in 2024, when lawyers got sanctioned for submitting legal briefs with completely fake cases that AI made up. The AI hallucinated, but the real problem was that no human checked the work. Designing a system where humans easily can validate or override the AI is how you build trust. But you can't stop there. A 2025 survey on AI governance revealed that while 75% of organizations have AI usage policies, fewer than half actively monitor their systems for accuracy or misuse. So don't fall into the set it and forget it trap. You should use tools like Langfuse or your own custom logs to track what your agent does, what user says, and where things break. So there you have it, a framework that actually works. Subscribe if you want more truth and less hype.